Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So in a recent video, I shared a grocery haul from the Aldi grocery store, and in that I mentioned purchasing ground turkey to make homemade sausage patties, and I mentioned making my own sausage seasoning. And like I said in that video, you could use it for turkey like I'm going to, but you could also use it to make a beef sausage, a chicken sausage, venison sausage. And so I just figured I would bring you in here while I am mixing up a batch of this and show you how I make it. Now this batch that I'm making is going to be pretty big. It's actually going to be a double batch, and so you're going to see me using a lot of my spices here. Over on my website, I will share a printable version of this recipe the day that this video goes up, and in that I will be doing half of what you see today. But if you really like this seasoning, you can always double it up like I'm going to do today. Alright, so I've got a little pint mason jar here that I'm just going to mix all of my ingredients in. You could mix these in a bowl and then whisk all the ingredients together, but there's really no need. Just mix it all right in here, put the lid on, shake it all up, and you'll be good to go. So we're going to start off with sea salt, a good quality sea salt. I'm using Redmond's real salt as usual, and I'm going to need a half a cup. And my half cup measuring cup won't fit in there, so I'm just going to use my quarter twice. Alright. Next, I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of ground sage. Sage kind of likes to stick together quite a bit, so I've got to level that off. And you know, the great thing about this recipe is you can adjust the ingredients. If you want more sage, add more sage. If you don't like as much sage, don't use quite as much. If you want to reduce the salt, you can do that too. Alright, next I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of thyme. And again, this is a double batch, so you're going to see me using a lot of these spices here. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds. And you know, this is another one of those ingredients. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. Some people absolutely hate fennel. Some people love fennel. I'm going to need 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper. And this is my 3/4 teaspoon, so I'm just going to be using these twice. A 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. A 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika. A tablespoon of parsley. I'm going to need 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. And now for a little bit of heat. Of course, you can completely modify this to suit your tastes. For this, you could use some red pepper flakes, you could use some ground cayenne, or you could use some hot paprika. I think I'm going to use hot paprika today. It's going to be 1/2 teaspoon. And then we just throw the lid on and we shake it all together. And there you go. Homemade sausage seasoning. So I'm going to grab all these and put them away. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix up some sausage. Alright, so I've got my ground turkey, I've got a mixing bowl, and I've got my sausage seasoning. So I'm just going to take my ground turkey, I'm going to put it in the bowl, and I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of break it up a little bit, just kind of separate the turkey. And the reason I'm doing this is because it makes it easier to get the seasoning mixed in. You do not want to overwork any kind of ground meat when you're making meatloaf, sausage patties, burgers, whatever it is. You don't want to mix the meat too much. It's better for the meat to actually be undermixed than it is overmixed. So now for 1 pound of ground meat, you're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of the seasoning. This can be adjusted according to your taste. If you want more seasoning, use a little bit more. If you don't want it as seasoned, use a little bit less. So I'm just going with a rounded tablespoon, and I'm just going to sprinkle this all over the turkey. And I'm just going to very gently mix this together. Again, until it's just barely combined. Now I find that if you mix this together the day before you're going to use it, it really allows the flavor of all of those seasonings to get into the meat. And so I really recommend doing this the day before or the evening before you plan on cooking it. You don't have to, I just think you end up with a better result. So I'm just going to go ahead and form these into patties in a container, stick them in my fridge, and then I'll cook them tomorrow. Good morning, friends. So it is now the next day, and I just got done cooking up the sausage, breakfast sausage, and little Miss Bean is enjoying it, aren't you? Say hi, everybody. Yeah. So if you would like to make this, you can get a printable version of this recipe on my website. I will put a link in the video description down below. Good stuff. No coffee for you, baby. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.